I'm Bob Rocha, Director of Education and Science Programs at the New Bedford Whaling Museum. And we have an activity on our Museum from Home page called Feed Like a Whale, and I'd like to actually walk you through that activity, show you how to do that. So many of you know that there are 88 different species of whale, dolphin, and porpoise, all listed under the umbrella term of cetaceans. But they don't all get their food out of the water the same way. There are 14 that use one method for removing food from the water, for sifting their prey, and the other 74 have a different way of getting their food into their mouths and through their digestive system. So we'll go through the activity and then we'll talk about specifics after that. So what I've done is I have a plastic container here. Usually we use something about the size of a shoebox. I've already put in about a third, maybe half of water. And then I have some Italian seasoning here, which is going to represent one of the smaller prey items, or the small prey item. And then I've also chopped up some apple, and I'll put the rest of it in. You can use carrot too. So we have two different kinds of food, one representing like fish and squid, and the other representing something a whole lot smaller. So let's go with the group of 74 cetaceans that feed in one certain way, and they'll be represented by these little tongs, and they're going to go through the water. The directions that we give you offer you the option of counting 15 seconds and seeing what you can pick up. So let's try that. I'll do the best to count in my head. So I'm going to go through nom nom nom, and I'm going to put my prey items here. Let's go through some more. Let's see what else we can get. I think that's probably 15 seconds already, and the directions tell you, if you'd like to, if I do it that way, you can count up what you have. I've counted up about 9, pretty good, for 15 seconds anyway. And then I'm also supposed to try to feed through getting the smaller items with the same kind of jaws, and some of it sticks to the jaws pretty well, but how's this animal going to swallow that? Or it's not going to fill it up very, very well. So that's one group of animals feeding. Here comes a comb representing the other 14 species, and it's going to go through the water. Let's see if it can pick up some of those apple bits. And after about 15 seconds, I haven't caught anything. But now, let's see if that'll sift through the water and get some of the smaller prey items, in this case the Italian seasoning, and I'll show you on the camera. You can see how much has gotten stuck there. Okay, I'll give that a little rinse. So I'm wondering if you know what the Italian seasoning was representing, and if you know what the apples were representing. I know I mentioned it earlier, but we'll do this as a review. So the Italian seasoning was there to represent zooplankton, copepods, krill, baby fish, scallops, clams, all those things. And the comb was representing baleen, like baleen here from a humpback whale or from a North Atlantic right whale. Both of these, all of baleen, are made from keratin, just like our fingernails, toenails, and hair. And it can be, depending on the length of the baleen plate, it can be pretty flexible, especially at the thinner part here. And if you're a humpback whale, well, you have 700 of these hanging from the roof of your mouth. If you're a North Atlantic right whale, you're going to have about 500 of these from the roof of your mouth. They only hang from the upper jaw. They do not stick up from the bottom. And this is how they filter food from the water. These baleen plates are really close to each other, just a millimeter or two. And this hair going across, or I should say sticking out from the inside, the hairy part faces towards the tongue and the throat. These all get crisscrossed and wet, and they make a big tangled mess in the whale's mouth, which is really, really good for filtering out copepods and krill. You can have a jar of krill here from a pet store. And if you take the krill out of the jar, they don't really look like much because all the little legs have fallen off, but you know it's krill because it smells like it. And the apple in here was representing fish and squid and octopus, and that's something that would have been eaten by, say, a sperm whale, or an orca, dolphins, porpoises, those 74 species known as odontocetes. Dolphin on my shirt here. So the tongues were representing a bottom jaw of a dolphin. You can see all those teeth, and you'll also notice this part right here is hollow. These animals echolocate, so they send sound out from their heads. Those clicks go out into the water, and what they want is for those clicks to bounce off of a prey item like a squid. Those clicks bounce off the squid, they go back to the whale, and they're going to go through the bottom jaw, and a live odontocete is going to have an acoustic fat pad right here to collect, to focus the sound. So it'll go through the jaw, it'll go into the ear bone, which is attached to the outside of the skull. Ours are inside our skull, and this is protecting the moving parts of the inner ear. This will then get passed up to the brain, and this process of send, bounce, receive process happens faster than I can tell you about it. And just for fun, I'll show you a couple of sperm whale teeth. This one's had a little bit of polishing done to it. This one is as is. So that's the general gist of it. Filter with the comb, grab with the tongs. The comb represents baleen whales. The tongs represent the toothed whales. And thanks for joining us, and I know we'll see you again soon.